Phil, well, that was definitely an entertaining afternoon at Electrical Services Stadium. It was certainly frantic watching from the sidelines. What was your perspective on the whole thing?
I thought first and foremost it was a good performance from ourselves. Reacted from Tuesday away at Chester. Positively. We was in control of the game for most of the first half, or all of the first half really. They got a lucky deflected goal, give them a little bit to fight for in the second half, and I'm not going to talk about the ref line, but the biggest thing is that we've come out of it with a decent performance. We could quite easily come away with a win in that game. Yeah,
I think it's the very least that Aldershot deserved today. I guess it would be unfair to ask you too much about the potentially fortuitous penalty that Aldershot got in the first half, but you will have had a much closer hand, an opinion, a view on what happened late on for the penalty Bristol Rovers were given. How did you see that?
It was close to his arm, I'll give him that, but from my understanding it's impossible for him to see because he's behind mark. The linesman didn't give it. The linesman, I believe, I don't know if he was saying no, but I think more he was saying I don't know if it hit his arm. For me, the referee couldn't see it. He's giving it to maybe even up for the first penalty, which is,
Well, is it possible that he was also influenced? He's made his decision and he'll stick by it and he won't change it now, but if his line of sight wasn't that clear, may have been influenced by 1,200 Bristol Rovers fans all showing handball.
Yeah, and I think he was influenced in sending Jordan off by their bench and the Bristol Rovers supporters. It's fairly weak in my opinion, and he looked frantic, but not really in control. But don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but that's the opinion I got. I don't think it was a penalty. I don't think he could have seen it was a penalty if he couldn't see. The linesman was in a better position to see. If he didn't know or wasn't 100% sure, the ref can't be 100% sure. Mark said it didn't hit his arm.
There seems the majority of the people in the press box said it was off his chest. He didn't handball it, So I think we may have been hard done by there, and possibly Bristol Rovers were a little hard done by with their penalty for handball. It clearly was handball, but it sort of bounced up awkwardly, and he didn't exactly control it. But those things aside, an awful lot's happened, lots of controversy, lots of incident, but we're ticking towards the end of the match, and shots are sitting on a point. They perhaps deserved all three, but they very nearly had none, Phil. Tremendous save from the free kick. Talk us through what you saw and how you...
Thanks. To be honest, I thought because of the way it was, I just thought to myself, I'm not gonna move towards the near post. I fancied that he's going to go to the far.
You fancied the left-footed player to strike that?
Yeah. I think the bloke who ran over it was making a bit of a meal out of what he was trying to do, which could have, I think if I'd have got beaten in that near post, there's not really a lot I could have done about it from that distance. I thought, well, I'll stay on my ground, and if he goes to the far post, then try and keep that covered, and it worked out. Got a save to it,
but it was postage stamp, Phil. It was right up in the top corner. Literally, you must have stretched every sinew to get your fingertips on that one.
Well, I think I just wanted to make sure I got something on it. To be fair, because previous free kicks and that I felt I should have done better with, and I wanted to make sure with that one, and probably got a bit too much on it because it's come back into play, but. Yeah, just pleased that we've come away with something because we definitely did not deserve to come away with nothing from that game.
We talked last time that we spoke with you about how good it was just to be playing football week in, week out. Can you believe here we are 11 days into October and the side's played 15, 16 games?
It is quite ridiculous really when you think of that we're, we must be a
third of the way through
the season. I think Russ was talking about the physio. It's 60 something odd days for 16 games. It's a game every 4 days. We've got a smallish squad and we've had injuries. And now hopefully is the time that we can sort of get a little bit of consistency. We've been a bit up and down. We've had a lot of travelling over the last couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's not an excuse, but it's a reality that we've had stuff like that, smallish squad. Crazy schedule that hopefully now we've got a few weeks where we haven't got Tuesday games, we can get the work done in the meantime in between the games to sort of really prepare properly and hopefully get a few more consistent results.
and it seemed at times that we were a bit unfortunate with injuries. We've sort of had 4 players out a lot of the time, but now we come to the end of that run, as you say, and with the exception of Tonks, and we're not sure the extent of his injury at the moment, the rest of the squad, plus Mark Phillips, who's joined us on loan, are all here. So good competition for places, and possibly coming up against 1 or 2 other teams that are feeling the brunt of those 16 games.
Yeah, and hopefully we can turn it around in our favour, and where we might have a few players that are tired and played a lot of games with the injuries coming back, we might be able to change it around a little bit, just to freshen it up a little bit, and and keep everyone the tank's full, because it's it's a lot of games, and it's tough on legs and minds and everything. So sometimes you need to take a step back and sort of recoup, and so you can go again. And hopefully this period where we've got quite a few weeks without midweek games, that we can really recharge the batteries a bit more. You
mentioned the travelling, and I know for all of us, Chester was a really long way on a Tuesday night. For 1 or 2 of you, it was even more than that, wasn't it? Do you still live in the Portsmouth area?
No, I live in Swindon, but I looked at I set my alarm for my wife to go at 6 in the morning, and I looked at the clock and it was 3:45, and I thought, what's the point? But it's one of them things. It wouldn't have been quite so bad if the M6 weren't closed, but it's still a nightmare when you've had Gateshead away, Dover away, which is still coming 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, getting home, and then Chester away on a Tuesday night. It's grueling, but it's done now, and we've some good, some bad performances, but we've come out of it with a decent points tally. So we can look forward to the rest of the rest of October and November, and then obviously it's going to get mad again around Christmas. See where we are.
And just to finish off, enjoy the weekend. You played your part in a hard-earned point. We say perhaps could have been 3 today, but have a good week's training, and we'll see you at Dartford.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Cheers.
See you then.